All right. Welcome back to the solo gigging life, you guys. Hope you music makers are staying busy out there and doing your thing and getting the gigs booked and uh, soothing souls and making smiles for everybody. So, anyways, I wanted to go over a couple things that I said I promised I would. Some of you guys might not be interested. But I just wanted to go over some gear that I purchased this past year. Well, I think I purchased this guy here in fall of last year, and it was like a Christmas present to me or a birthday present, whatever you want to call it. And the reason why I purchased this guy here is I'm going to get into recording, and usually I get into my home recordings. I get into my singles. I like to write singles. And by the way, thank you guys so much for the love. I did a lot. That was a lot of work. That song I did called "Land of Broken Dreams." That was, yeah, that was. It was interesting because you get to that point in recording, or you have an idea for a song. You've got the song, say you've got the melody kind of worked out on the guitar, then you start adding lyrics, right? So I did that, but it's like I couldn't figure out what direction I wanted to go with the song. If I wanted to make it more on the bluegrass side or more bluesy, and I think it's a little bit of both, really. But it's got that bluesy kind of feel to it, but yet it's got that bluegrass, bluesy country. I don't know, man. I don't know if you could put I don't know if you can nail my genre down. Some of you guys have probably heard some of my singles, and you're like, I don't know what the hell it is. But it's just something I love to do. Whatever. But so that being said, the reason why I made this purchase was because I was thinking about I know I have this drummer across the other side of town, and he was in a pretty decent successful band, a cover band, and playing all over Southern Cal. He's a really good drummer, and so we've been talking for the past half a year or so, or maybe longer, and I told him, I said, yeah, I'm open to getting together and doing some jamming and maybe do some blues, kind of get into some blues kind of stuff, some dirty blues, Mississippi blues, whatever. Just kind of, whoops. Oh, that's great. All right, you guys, we got a malfunction here. Holy moly. Let's try that. Okay, maybe that'll stay. Anyway, so let me see if you guys are still here. My light went out. So yeah, so I decided to kind of try to see if I could purchase an amp and I can knock out two birds with one stone. So in other words, a powerful enough amp to play with the boys, and do a little jamming, because it's been a long time since I've jammed with other people, and it's been a few years since I've had a band. So anyways, and then something I can also use for recording. Now, being that I'm in a 30-foot RV type trailer, I can't really crank this up. But it's a good little amp, and I just wanted to go over it with you. It's the Champion 100, and it's a modeling type amp. So you've got your FX on here, and you've got your levels, your level of your effects on the clean channel. Then you've got a gain. So it's got some nice heavy gain on it. If you want to do some good old rock and roll. I don't know about doing metal with this amp, but it's an open back 212. It kind of looks like it's the same size as a Fender Twin. Hey, dude, get out of here. You got to get out. Thank you. So anyways, so, and then the effects on there, so it's got all kinds of effects. It's got reverb, delay, and it's got, yeah, it's got quite a few things in it. Let me see what the effects are on this thing. Yeah, I've got reverb, delay, and tremolo. It's got a different delay. It's got delay and reverb. So it's got a lot of different effects on it, you know, for the and so I got this for the studio and to be able to jam. But then I did a little bit of homework and I'm going, God, I hope I didn't blow it on this purchase. This thing was like $400 and something or $400, something like that. So it wasn't cheap. It's a 100-watt solid state. It is not a tube amp. And I'm not really familiar with, I've actually played solid state amps before, but most of my amps I've always played have always been tube amps. This here is not a tube amp. So that being said, I'm a little afraid of using this with the guys because I heard there were some reviews is when you crank this thing, it's loud enough and it's powerful enough, but I think there's certain tones maybe that get lost versus tube. Tube has got warmth and yeah, I mean, and these sound warm too. There's not a darn thing wrong with these amps. And I'd probably be fine playing with it, but I'm just kind of a tube guy. So, and it's all in preference, you know, it's all what everybody likes to play. Most guys and most pro players, you know, they use tube amps. But there are some that do the solid state. You know, there's some great solid states out there. This is not a bad solid state. It comes with a foot switch, 212s, 100 watt. So it's got the power. But I just like the modeling, like if I'm looking for a certain sound on my track at home here, I can go straight in and then straight out, not even use the speakers in here. Now, so this is what this was my main present for me. So anyway, so I got this and I'm happy with it. I love it. Always loved Fender. I'm a Fender guy. So yeah, and it's a really good amp. But then I started thinking, you know what, just to be on the safe side, I made another big purchase. I said, just to be on the safe side, I think maybe I need tube. And, you know, this won't be a waste because I could use this for the cab. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I replaced, they have like these special design speakers that you can, that come in this thing. And they're not bad. You know, but I don't think they're a pro speaker. It's you know, I mean, they're just not a super. That it's just I don't think they got that tone that for live playing. I don't know. It's just I just think that it's they're just mediocre speakers. They call them special design. It's got the Fender thing on it. They're probably made in Korea or China or something, wherever, or Indonesia. And I think, matter of fact, I think this amp is made in Taiwan or Indonesia, one of the two. Yeah, one of the two. I'm not really sure, actually. But anyway, so I go, well, maybe if I'll keep the amp because I can use it, like I said, for recording and I can use it for live. But I was a little afraid and a little gun shy of like, if I get that call and say, hey man, we're going to jam, you know, I bring it and use it, but then I have to dial it in and find out, you know, the volume I'm pumping out, what is the best setting for the volume I'm using. Because that's what it comes down to. A lot of that is, you know, depending what your volume is, you want to find that nice pocket, you know, for your tone of your guitar. Of the amp. Anyway, so I go, okay, well, this is what I did. Basically, the first thing I did, and I was going to do it anyways, even if I had not gotten another amp, but I decided to upgrade the speakers. So I took the speakers out. I have them for sale, by the way, and they're in some nice speaker boxes, cardboard boxes to ship out. So I've got, because the speakers in this, that stock speakers that came in this, really aren't bad speakers, but they're just, you know, kind of middle of the road, you know, if you know what you're looking for or listening for in tone. So I go, okay, I got to upgrade it. Well, I could have upgraded with greenbacks, goldbacks, whatever, like very expensive speakers. And I am a Celestion guy. So I decided to go Celestion. I stuck with Celestion. And I did some research on YouTube. And these speakers together, I could have got a pair of the A series. But it's weird. So, one has a little more gain than the other, and I like that. I believe it's the V, as in Victor. V series is got the little more of the gain. I'm not really sure. They're so close to the same, but they are a little bit different. And so I figured, and this guy on YouTube, he split his for I think he used them for his Fender Twin or something. I'm not sure what speaker, but he used a tube amp, and he used these speakers, and there was, you know, versus this, that, and the other. But he said the best sound that he got out of these Celestians really was using the A and the V together. And he goes, it's a badass tone. So, and it breaks up nice. It's just a good speaker. So I upgraded this. These were around 100, maybe a little over 120 or something like that a piece. I think one was a little more than the other. Maybe this was like 110. This was like 125. I'm not really sure. So that was the first thing I did, was upgrade the cabinet. So, and oh my God, with the effects that are in this, and wow, what a difference. It made a big difference from the stock Fender. They were called Fender Special Design. They're just, you know, they're just cheap. They're just not a great speaker. They're not bad. They're not really, they're not bad, but they're not great. So these just made this amp great. And I probably feel better using this amp now live. Yeah, I would feel better. But I wanted to feel even a little bit better, and I'll show you what I did. So you can actually see this wiring I did here. Actually, I unhooked these. I had to unhook these. So these are the main speakers, and they're not split. They're in series, I believe. And so, yeah. So I wired these guys. I put a jack on there and just wired this jack in there. It's nice. I soldered it, so it's good. It ain't going anywhere. One's red, one's... So yeah. And you follow this cord, and I'll show you where this cord goes to. And look what we have here. I did my homework on this one too. So this is my tube amp. And so this is what I want to use. I'll feel more comfortable. So this thing fits right on top of the Fender, so I can use the Fender as a cab, bypass the amp the way I have it wired. These are wired, the speakers in here are wired, they're daisy chained, like, I guess, right? And so they're 16 ohm speakers, which makes that 8 ohm. So you hook up your 8 ohm in the back. I think I got that plugged in. But you know, I'm using the mic on this thing, so you're not really going to hear the true sound of these. I mean, if you really want to hear what this Origin sounds like, this Marshall Origin, it's a 50 watt. I know I don't need anything bigger than that. I mean, you know, 50 watts crazy. It's loud. And, you know, I'm not playing at the Forum. And even if I was playing at the Forum, this thing would be just fine. Just throw a mic on it and call it done. So, yeah, this is a... so anyway, so I did my homework, and I didn't want a big head because I've owned a couple Marshall heads. I had a super lead, and This one here is a cross between JCM and a Plexi. This is not a super high gain amp, by no means. So I'm sure if you guys want to know what this sounds like, I'll try to see if I can hook up something here and just give you an idea, because I do have it hooked up right now. Matter of fact, I can probably turn it on, put it on standby, let those tubes warm up. So, but this was the deal here. When I saw this, and I didn't have a lot of money, this was about the same price, maybe 500 or 600. I can't remember. Hey, get off. Get off. So, yeah, hopefully you guys can see this okay. I can't see in the camera if this is coming through, if you can even see the head. It's kind of dark, and I do got a light here, and a light up there. But anyways, so this little Marshall here, 50 water, I freaking love it. It's badass. Like I said, it's a cross between a JCM and a Plexi. It's kind of a little bit of both. It's pretty amazing. And it's got the switch on here if I want to switch it to 10 watt. And then it goes to 20 and then all the way. Something like that. But let me see here. I haven't even really... Oh, that's the output. That is not standby. Sorry, I can't see anything. So this is 50 watt, having this lever all the way down. In the middle is probably 25 watt, and then the low is 10 watt. So that's kind of nice. You know, I mean, if you're rehearsing inside or you want to work on some chops or whatever, you can put it on 10 watt and it's not going to blow the way of the neighbors, you know. So, yeah. So this is not a super high gain. Now I bought this when I wanted to give you guys heads up on it. I'm sure you guys have been through this before, but I bought in gear, and most of the time I buy it, I don't have bad luck. In other words, I purchase, and I always try to get the best deal I can. And there's so many good deals out there, but so one thing I will do is actually I will go with open box. I don't mind getting an open box. Now, I've never had a bad experience with buying open box. Everything had worked perfect. You know, it's just an open box, like they said. This thing here, though, this jacked me up, man. I don't know what the hell happened. Yeah. Dude, so anyway, so I get the box, and it's sealed up in the box. You know, it doesn't have the cellophane on, but it's sealed up tightly in the box when I got it. It was in 2 different boxes. I think I ordered on Amazon. And this thing here, so I had it for a while, for like a week or 2 before I even pulled it out of the box, even because I was busy doing the gigs and, you know, this, that, and life, you know, so I didn't have time to really pull it out and hook it up and see what it sounded like. So I did, and I'm like, oh my God, it's not working. I'm kind of freaking out, and I'm going, God, this just sounds funny or what. So long story short, I don't know, I'm going to show you here. This, when I sat it, so I sat it on my desktop here, and I'm looking at it, and I see, I don't know if you guys, I'm going to bring the camera over here. I see a gap right here, a big gap. I'm like, oh, wow, it's not flush against the bottom here, this tray. I looked over here, and it was pretty much where it belonged, right? So, and over here, I'm going, shit, this is like crooked. It was like lifted up. So there was a big gap. I'm going, this is weird. So I ended up taking it apart, and I took the back off, and then as soon as I took the back off, I forgot what tube it is, but the power tubes, the big tube, it's got 2 power tubes in there, and they're big tubes. One tube was broke, and I'm like, what? I go, fuck, it was, you know, that was broke. I mean, it was, the whole top of it was just kind of blown off. I'm like, what the hell? And everything else looked new. So I undid the tray, unscrewed the bolts. 2 of the sides didn't even have bolts. So the tray came out, and so the tray is bolted. It has a lip on the top of the tray. So, you know, you have this tray, right? And you have a lip on the top, on the sides, where it bolts to the chassis of the box. Screws down. And I don't remember exactly. But anyway, so the frame, this frame that this is in, this tray, the holes where it screws on one side, on this side here, it was like it had dropped upside down and just pulled the tray, the bolts out of the tray, bent the tray up. I mean, dude, this thing was jacked up. I mean, I was like, what the hell? But what's so weird was that there was no damage on the outside of it. Like it never doesn't, this thing's flawless. It doesn't look like it was ever dropped. So I don't know what happened, if it was upside down and it took a fall on the box, and luckily the box was, but because of the weight of the tray, you know, because this thing's not light. I don't know what it is. And by the way, the Champion 100 is not a super heavy amp. It's not like you're lifting up a Fender Twin. This thing's actually pretty light. It's not super light, but I mean, it's not a Twin. So it's cool. It's not a tank. So, although I did put bigger speakers and magnets in here a little bit, but so it's a little heavier now. But and I have it set and run out. You can't. I don't know if you can see. You probably can't see it, but I mean, I've got my amp setting right there. The Champion, the cabinet. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that. That's my head, and then I've already got it wired up. Unhook the wires from the system here, and yeah. So I just did that. And this thing sits perfectly on top of the Fender. So it's kind of cool. People are going to go, what the hell has he got there? How's he getting that Jimi Hendrix sound? That's it. Fender cap. And this little JCM / Plexi Origin 50 watt Marshall. Anyway, so, and you know what's weird is, like, it's so bizarre. I didn't know that Marshall made some of their line. This is not from England. My GCM that I or my Super Lead that I had, it was 100 watt, and it was made in England. This is not made in England, but it's made in Taiwan. Taiwan, I believe so. But I mean, they did a good job. I mean, it's a great. It sounds bitch. So, anyways, I got in there. Got my pliers and some tools, and I tweaked the frame, straightened out the frame, found the little clips, because they were in there. They were loose and away from the frame, but there's clips that go in there so the screw catches. It's almost like a bolt or a nut. It's almost like a nut, and it goes into the slide of the tray, so the bolt will stick to it. And so, yeah. But I straightened it out, ordered a couple power tubes, and matter of fact, it's, I got the power tube back there. I got an extra backup power tube back there. But anyway, because they came in pairs. So I ordered a power tube, replaced the broken power tube. The other one I left alone. Seems to be working. They're both firing up really good. So yeah, that's just a little precaution that I've always had good luck buying open box. Yeah, there's some things I bought brand new, but if I can get an open box and try to get a little bit better deal, you know, save $100 or whatever, or $50 or whatever it is, I'll do that. I take one. I've never had any problems. This is the only one I've had a problem with an open box. I went, holy shit. And I think I got this one on eBay. I did not get it on Amazon. Actually, I don't know if Amazon, I think they sell used gear. I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah, so this one I got for that. And so, yeah, so that's my setup for getting together with the boys and doing some jamming and making a little noise. And, you know, you never know you never know what could happen. Let's see, fix that there. You just never know. And maybe I'll have a band. I'm never going to stop my solo gigging. That's just too much damn fun. So I'm never going to stop that. You don't have to worry about that. But yeah, just wanted what I do on the other side of my music thing. And then I think maybe next week I'll go over my system, my home studio. I'll go over what I have here. I'll clean it up, make it look nice. See, I've got my bass behind there. Got my mandolin. I got my little parlor guitar, that little Gretsch. And then I've got my other, I got a couple Strats and my Martin and Taylor. They're all in the back of the trailer. But anyway, so yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are staying busy. Update on me. Yeah, I've got to, it doesn't look like they're going to open up that place on the thing. So, but the good news is the Moose Lodge that I play at, there's a gentleman, Dave, he's the administrator, and he kind of pretty much runs the place in a nutshell. And he was the one that basically hired me, and bless his heart. And he's been such a good guy ever since day one. I've been playing for there for 2 years now, twice a month. So, but now that place is closed down, friends of mine, they're the duet, and she plays cello and he plays guitar. Well, you know, apparently, obviously, their income was depending on the Pines. The place is called the Pines. It could open back up, but I don't think it's going to open back up anytime super soon. I think they'll probably wait till spring, because I don't know if you could see, but it's snowing out there. Cat's licking her her thing there, and that's my other cat there. That's Mr. D, and that's Gigi. She's a girl, boy, and this is Sasquatch here. What are you doing, baby boy? You want to say hi to everybody? You just say hi to everybody. You just do that, because, you know, they want to see you once in a while. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. I just had to do that. My boy's getting old. Anyway, but he's still good and still healthy. So, anyway, so that's my story. Hope this is not too long and boring, but I just wanted to show you what my rig is going to be like. I'm going to use this setup and do that. And, you know, we can get together. We just need to find a bass player. He plays drums. And as soon as we find a bass player, it's kind of thin pickings up here, but he's still looking, and I've got my ears and eyes peeled for a bass player. So yeah, that's it. And yeah, so anyway, so about the Moose, Dave added, because I was only doing 2 hours the first and third Saturday of every month in Fawnskin Ca here on the north shore of the lake, and at the Moose. And so I guess this couple, they've been friends of Dave that hired me. They've been friends with them probably for a decade or longer. And so, you know, it is. And so they gave them I guess he booked them on a Friday night, because they had 2 steady days at the Pines. Now the Pines is closed. So they did depend on that income. So, because they had told me, they go, yeah, we're not really into playing at the Moose. Because not that they didn't like the Moose or anything. It's just that there's not a lot of room there. So it's 2 of them. And so there's not a lot of room. So it's just not really super comfortable for them to play there. But they always do a great job. And they always, you know, for what they do, it's unique and different. And they made a little name for themselves here up on this little hill. So, and I'm proud of them. That's great. But anyway, so yeah, now they're booked. Now they're playing at the Moose. But it's not just them. It's me. It's a couple other people that were playing at the tavern, which is no longer. So there's another place in town called Nottingham's, I think. So and there's another place, Azteca. It's a Mexican place. So I'm trying to get out there, but I did make a connection back with the people I used to play with at Towns End in Apple Valley. So I'm playing there, not this weekend, but next weekend, March 2nd, Saturday at Towns End. I think it's 5 or 6 o'clock out there for a couple hours. So it's actually a really pretty money place. It's actually a distillery for whiskey. They make whiskey, bourbon, scotch, and stuff like that out there. So it's distillery, just not beer. It's the hard shit. But anyways, yeah. But so I'm still plugging away and still playing. But I keep getting sidetracked. Dave added on another hour, so now I'm doing 3 hours, which is great. It's extra $100, to play 3 hours. So, that's cool. That helped. That actually filled in an extra day for me, really, when I add on 3 hours. So that's working out good. That's, it's definitely a little bit better. But yeah, it's a tough road out there right now, and our country's so jacked up, and it's just nuts. But I'm trying to not let that get to me, and it is what it is. And this is, like I said, this is clusterfuck 24. We have to get used to it, and until we get this Fugazi out of office, we're stuck for a few months left. And it's going to take probably a year to get our country back on its feet and get the economy going and create more jobs, because that's exactly what Trump, if he gets in, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's just going to go open up the floodgates and shut down the big gate at the border. And that's what we need to do. And we just need to make it right. And unfortunately, this administration is lost, very lost. But anyway, so enough of that stuff.